Hey folks, so based on factories statistical informations and my corrections, the number of spiritual leaders in during 30s up to early, I would say 90s, including my family members, is a little less than 400. But now, surprisingly, at least around 3,000 since then. So I would personally presume that the influx in the spiritual leaders for the last 20 years is all about, I would say, bogus. Or maybe intentional. I wouldn't say they're bogus. I do respect the spiritual leaders who attend the spiritual faculties um, last, few decades. But what I think that I would say probably the number of intentionally created and controlled somehow by the management of organizations and financial institutions like Mizuho Bank that has put word in the managerial issues or matters and in governance of the Shinnyoen. That's what I found out. So the problem is that the spiritual faculty is now weaponized against a general skepticism or antagonistic follower like me, regardless of the deteriorated credibility of the spiritual faculty since then. But the old decent followers with the common sense, righteous spiritual faculty has been falsified and slowly martyred, or I would say even killed, in order for Shinnyoen to fabricate or conceal every history of the Shinnyoen. And the followers' families' histories, including family and family saga. And then total ideological corruptions. Was there some sort of inclination toward globalism with increased global footprints on the Shinnyoans? And decadence of the organizations and lineage system has been escalated with the police collisions and infiltrations of the extreme leftists maybe have started around early 2000. So many issues has been noticeable since then, and all of a sudden Mr. Torigai was announced to become a candidate for the next successor of the law of Shinyo teaching in 2013, I think. So the vast majority of the followers of the time was perplexed by this announcement. And since then, a collective schizophrenia among followers with delusional thoughts pattern has been prevalent for the last 10 years. And one thing that I noticed is that the quality of the spiritual faculty, at least that I know of, will be quite different. It's quite different from the quality and the characteristics that I can intuitively sense 30 years ago when I was a kid. So the Shinnyoens are traditionally the Buddhism layman monastery to improve your altruistic personality and a sense of humanity and maybe spirituality. Maybe. But the spiritual elevation of spiritual faculty, per se, is merely instruments to achieve this fundamental goal. And my understanding is the most important for Shinjo Ito is to establish harmonious society with Japan, with a well-matured community, with a high standard of humanity and morality and maybe mannerism. But now the Shinnyoen concern is skewed from the original point, and then the concern is about how to use spiritual faculty to manipulate people and expand its organization political power over the people, and its possibly its global presence with a whole bunch of art collections, right? So what I would suggest to you guys is to create a list of the spiritual leader who retained the spiritual faculty for the last 10 years, especially after the announcement of Mr. Torigai inheritance of the law of Shingon Buddhism. And what I would suggest to you guys, maybe old, well experienced spiritual leaders. maybe they can help management to come up with 365-degree evaluations and sort of things, or any type of evaluation policy for those newly made spiritual leaders, as well as creation of code of ethics for this is for entire spiritual leaders community to alleviate all different types of communication problem identified for the last 10 years. So that's what I think. So that's my ideas. You guys probably have different ideas for the reform of the spiritual faculty or spiritual session training per se. But that's one approach. So let's think together and resolve all different type of communication issues between lineage parents with followers or a spiritual leader with the other followers. So thanks for listening. Bye bye.